News Talk 640 WFNC. On screen right now on our podcast, on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, Dr. Hersey Bell. He is you are the Dean of Methodist University, Cape Fear Valley School of Medicine.
It's a mouthful. Yes.
Boy, I tell you what, I'd like to see your business card. Probably wraps around from one pocket to the other.
Got to get one of those folding ones, yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here, Dr. Bell.
Thank you.
We haven't had you in here a little bit, and
Right.
a lot has developed since the last time you were here in terms of brick and mortar at the place. Bring us up to date on how the medical school is coming.
So it's been incredibly exciting, Gilbert, and thank you for having me on again. I appreciate it. So the building is pretty well done. We received our certificate of occupancy, temporary certificate of occupancy about 2 months ago, but we've been moving in all the furniture, all the equipment. And I just want to give a shout out to the Golden Leaf Foundation. Golden Leaf Foundation gave us a grant for $8 million to fully equip the technology in this medical school building. And Gilbert, it's too bad we can't do like a traveling show and give you a tour of the building, but...
Well, maybe we might do that.
That would be a lot of fun.
I think what I could do is I could probably just go over there with you sometime, get some footage, and then come in and just play it on the air during the podcast.
We need to do that.
Yeah, we'll schedule that.
When you walk into this building, first of all, you walk into this beautiful foyer with this large video screen that welcomes you. It's the most inviting building I've ever worked in my career. When we talked with the architects, I said they had 2 requirements. It can't look like an office building, and it does not. I said it has to feel like home. And every single person who's come to that building, they just are, wow, I don't want to leave. And that's, feels like home. So this past weekend, we had our very first accepted students day. So we put out offers, and I'll tell you about the numbers in a few moments, but we put out offers to students for our first class, and we invited them and their families to come and see the building and talk with us. And to watch the building come alive with students in it, Gilbert, it was one of the highlights of my career, I have to tell you.
Well, we talk about the numbers, and I've already heard the numbers, but I'm going to let you tell numbers because I didn't believe the numbers in terms of how many people wanted to come to the medical school on the first try. And well, go ahead. You do what you got to do.
So normally admissions opens May 1st. So we open admissions for next year, May 1st this year. But because of our accreditation not being received till October, we couldn't start until November 1st. We already had a 6-month delay. Despite that, we had 1,522 applications. We interviewed 544 students. We've put out offers for all 64 seats and another 200 or so on our wait list. And on April 30th is the National Day of Decision. Students decide which school they want to go to. So we'll actually learn who our students actually are.
Well, and I'm assuming these students are from across the country and maybe around the world.
They are across the country, but I'm really excited to tell you that there are 3 of them that have addresses right here in Fayetteville.
Isn't that something?
We've got about 5 or 6 from the surrounding area. About a third are from North Carolina, which is exciting. I talked with one young woman who came to the Accepted Students Day. She was born at Cape Fear Valley Hospital. And I asked her, I said, so what was it like when you heard there was going to be a medical school? And she said, I couldn't believe in my wildest dreams that one day there'd be a medical school in Fayetteville.
Now, you talk about a storyline right there.
Yeah.
For an individual to be born at Cape Fear,
yes,
to come back to be a doctor.
Yes.
I want to do that story. So if that happens, I want to do that story.
So we got a few already. We got Mike Jones, the obstetrician, Sam Fleischman, our chief medical officer. They were both born at Cape Fear Valley.
Wow!
But to be able to, and in fact, maybe when you come on, starting in July, I can bring a student or 2 with me to tell you their stories.
Yeah, but the difference of this particular student is the fact that they're born, and then she will get her doctor's degree.
Yes.
See, that's different.
Yeah, totally different. She'll be the first one.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Well, I hope that all works too. Now, she hasn't decided that she's going to come here.
Although,
how's that work?
I think based on how the day went Saturday, I put a good bet on it.
Okay. Well, I can imagine that her parents are extremely proud as well to have her here.
Yeah.
So we started this thing with a dream.
Yes.
It was I think you and Mike Nagowski,
yes,
who's got 1 foot on retirement, the other one on a banana peel. Wherever. Mike, where are you? We're supposed to play golf together at some point. He's wherever he is, wherever you are.
Yeah.
We're looking for you. But no, he's done just a fantastic job. But how did that collaboration go together? Because I kind of know that story, but share that.
So, it was actually 7 years ago around this month that I made my first call to Mike. Our college up in Pennsylvania wanted to start a medical school in the South. And we had a partner in Florida, but it didn't work out. So my provost said to me, what are we going to do now? And I said, well, I know this guy in North Carolina. And I called Mike. Mike and I used to work together back in 2000 in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I called Mike. I said, hey, Mike, you want to start a medical school? And he laughed. I said, what are you laughing about? He goes, I was about to call you. So it was 7 years ago, Gilbert. And I can't believe that 7 years has gone by like that. But what happened on the weekend, I can't emphasize enough this past weekend. What happened on the weekend is for the first time, this dream came to life. And I saw it. In fact, what the most fun part of the day was? That evening, my wife and I went out for dinner at Circa. And 3 of the students were having dinner there. And so I got to say hi, introduce them to my wife. And I thought to myself, this is what we're doing. That we're bringing people to town. We're going to see them all over town. It's so exciting.
Well, I guess the main part of it, hopefully, is some of them will stay in town.
Yes.
And fill the void that we have here of doctors. Talk about that a little bit and how important that is.
That's actually the goal of the school. We want to improve health outcomes. And the number one determinant of health outcomes is access to health care. In our region, we currently have, according to the Shep Center at UNC, half the number of physicians that we need for our population. So the idea of a medical school is twofold. Number one, you start recruiting physicians to be on your faculty who are going to practice here, and we're already seeing that happening. And then you have students come here who do their residencies and fellowships here and stay as practitioners. And the national statistic is 70% of students who do medical school and residency in the same location will stay in practice in that location.
Well, the neat thing about this particular area, you've got Fayetteville State University and their nursing program. You have Fayetteville Technical Community College and the resources they provide there. And so all 3 of these institutions kind of link together on each other's to assist each other.
Absolutely.
In the development of medical research and things that are happening in our community. You don't have to go up to the Triangle.
No.
This is Triangle South down here is what I look at it.
Well, I keep saying to everybody it's going to be the quadrilateral one day. Speaking about that, we are currently working with our local colleges, and Dr. Blue Malley and I are working with our local colleges to develop pathway programs where students can go from high school to a pre-med program directly into medical school. I can't say who exactly right now. You'll hear more. But we have had local philanthropists give us money for scholarships for students from their communities to be able to come through our colleges and our medical school. The whole community, Gilbert, is coming together. Got to tell you, I spoke at the Clinton Sampson Chamber of Commerce a few weeks ago. Room was packed, and I didn't get a standing ovation. The school got a standing ovation because they see it as the future of bringing physicians to this community, and that's what's happening all over the region.
Well, and you have to have the vision, and the vision starts with a dream, and someone has to sit down, and then someone's got to provide the financing to make it all happen. I think there's an awful lot of people who want to see this happen in a number of different areas, but do you have the community backing that's needed? We
sure do. Starting a medical school is no cheap date. It costs about $140 million to stand up a new medical school. And I'm just thrilled to tell you today that we've raised almost, with actual gifts and pledges, almost $28 million in local donations for operations and scholarships. Probably at least another 10 or more million on its way. But we're still every day getting calls from folks who want to participate. And they're coming from all over the region. I want to specifically give a shout out to the Anonymous Trust, the Duke Foundation, the Cumberland Community Foundation, the Cumberland County Commissioners, the Camber Foundation, the Golden Leaf Foundation, who have all given us significant gifts to support student scholarships and operations.
You have the campus up on Ramsey Street, and these students will be doing their residency and training at the hospital.
So the
How's it work?
Medical school is right on the campus of Cape Fear Valley. So it's right at the corner of Village and Roxy. And I'm going to say to your audience here, if you have not done it yet, get in your car, drive from Robeson onto Village, and as you come towards Owen, about 3 or 4 traffic lights before you even hit Owen, you'll see this magnificent building right on the curve of Village. That's our medical school.
Well, and for those of us who lived here for quite some time who noticed that was a void space, it will stand out like a sore thumb when you. But if it's somebody just coming, they'll just think it's just a building that's always been there.
Right.
For those of us who live here, we will have the impact of the vision that you're talking about when you make that turn on Village Drive.
I will say it's one of the most distinctive buildings in Fayetteville. It's got a character all its own. The windows that face you as you're coming along Village, on the right kinds of days, the clouds from the sky reflect off the windows, and you see that as you're driving up. It's just a gorgeous building.
Well, unfortunately, my son was in the hospital this weekend. But the point I want to make is that he was in the new section of Cape Fear, the new floors.
Yes.
And I mean, the vision there that Mike Nagowski and those folks had in putting those extension floors on the hospital, just fantastic. I mean, I looked out his room, I saw the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
I mean, it's just a great view. I guess you have the same view of the Eiffel Tower from some of the windows from the medical center.
We do. See, a lot of people think the Eiffel Tower is in Paris, but we know better.
We
right?
know better. As a matter of fact, the view from his room was so fantastic. I was looking for Mike. This is my 5th anniversary weekend. We were going down to Myrtle Beach. I said, no, we're going to just get a room at the hospital and just stay up in one of those rooms and look down at the Eiffel Tower and think we're in France.
There you go.
Well, he didn't like that idea. That's okay. Well, look, but this is a collaborative effort between the university and the hospital, and the dean and the president. The president at the university is also retiring, or did he retire?
So Dr. Warden has announced that in July of 2027 he'll be stepping down, and there's currently a search going on, and we look forward to hearing about the new president.
And then we have someone already in place for Mike Nagowski as well, who's no stranger to the hospital.
No. Dan Weatherly is an extraordinary gentleman. He's been with the organization, I believe, almost 15 years, served as the chief operating officer and president of the hospital. And he brings such a commitment to getting things done for this community. And Dan and his team, I'm so proud to be part of that team. We're doing incredible things to bring the best health care to Fayetteville.
And so you have the continuity that's needed from one chief operating officer, and then you're doing a search right now for, but the president of Methodist is going to be on board as the hospital comes, this medical schools comes on board as well. So that continuity is important as you get this project off the ground.
Yeah, it certainly is. I sort of kidded. Both boards interviewed me as they were starting their searches, and I said, when you're making the sausage, remember the sausage makers.
That's exactly right. Well, Hersey, it's always a good thing to have you here. And I've mentioned this to you before. You're Dr. Bell. There's a Dr. Bell down in South Carolina.
Yes.
And I mentioned this to Mike Nagowski. He said, you didn't tell him about Dr. Bell down in South Carolina. I said, yeah, I see. I got this vision. I go down to the Low Country Jazz Festival that Dr. Thaddeus Bell puts on every year to raise money to help offset the expenses for medical students down in South Carolina.
Wow.
And I said, I can see this concert thing, this jazz festival here in Fayetteville with the two Dr. Bells collaborating to make this thing happen. So we have a jazz festival up here to raise money.
Sounds exciting. I'm all in. I'm all in.
And that's what Mike said, oh, my God, you didn't tell him that, did you? Yes, I did. So I'm making it official right now. The two Dr. Bells got to meet, and we got to look at that as a possibility.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you want to put out here about what's happening and the timetable or anything like that?
July 20th, 2026 is our first day of classes. That week, we're playing all sorts of events for our students coming to town. Hank Parfit and Elaine from the downtown group are working with us to do some nice events downtown. The fourth Friday in July, we're going to have our students out there. And the following weekend is a Woodpeckers game. And we're working real hard for those who can make things happen, working real hard to have one of our students throw out the first pitch and have our entire class introduced to the community that night.
Wow, isn't that nice?
Yes.
Well, I hope that really works out. Dr. Hersey Bell, Methodist University, Cape Fear Valley Health School of Medicine. You're the founding dean.
Yes.
That is. What a great title. Congratulations to you, and good luck as you launch this much-needed project in our community.
I appreciate it, Gilbert, and thank you so much for being one of our biggest supporters.
All right. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. You want to go to commercials, or you want to do weather? All right, we've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Our Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 92. Overnight will be partly cloudy with a low of 63, and Thursday will be mostly sunny also with a high of 92. And temperatures will stay in the 90s this week, flirting with high temperature records at least through the weekend. But by Sunday, a cold front arrives. It will bring a few showers and thunderstorms, as well as cooler conditions for next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Right now, 67 degrees across the board, Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and at Methodist University. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Always first in News Talk for North Carolina. News Talk 640 WFNC. Say play WFNC wherever you get your audio.
Visit Valley Auto World Volkswagen for special offers on multiple models through April 30th. Qualifying customers can finance a 2026 Atlas with 0% APR for 60 months and get a $1,000 customer bonus. Finance a 2026 Tiguan with 0.9% APR for 60 months if you qualify. For offer details, call 1-800-264-3212 or visit valleyautoworldvw.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic